playing the guitar really reduce stress? I'm David Harsh with Guitar Success for You, and in this video, I'm going to give you a strong case for how playing the guitar can drastically reduce stress in your life. I'm a guitar teacher and a professional touring musician, but I'm also really good at getting stressed out. I invite you to join me for an intentional discussion about helping melt stress away with just a guitar in your hands. Research has shown that playing a musical instrument can have a profound impact on our mental health, reducing stress and anxiety by providing an outlet for expression and creativity. Before our time is finished today, I'll share a story of someone I know personally who has experienced tremendous healing and therapeutic relief by playing the guitar. And I'll also offer you some practical ways of playing the guitar that take very little skill or strength. So even if you're not a musician per se, I've got some ideas here that could really bless you in times of stress, especially if you've got a guitar in your home sitting relatively untouched in the corner. Now, before I go any further, as someone who loves the Lord, I definitely see the value of praying in the face of anxiety. Philippians 4, 6, and 7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." I love those two verses because they help me be thankful, and simultaneously they allow me to invite the peace of God to guard my heart and my mind. The mind can be a battlefield. Wait, let me rephrase. The mind is a battlefield, and stress, at least for me, is the most common theme of battle in my mind. I let circumstances have way too much of an effect on how I think. I need to de-stress. Stress is an epidemic in today's fast-paced world. We're constantly connected, constantly bombarded with information, and constantly striving to keep up. It's no wonder that anxiety and depression are on the rise. We're exhausted, we're overwhelmed, and we're desperate for a solution. But in the chaos, we often forget to take care of ourselves. I know I do. We prioritize work, relationships, and our responsibilities over our own well-being, leading to burnout and further stress. We all know we need to relax, but sometimes we don't know where to start. We can try a variety of techniques to take our minds off our stress, but often we're left feeling defeated, like we're failing at relaxation. And that's when stress starts to feel like a constant companion, always lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce on us and rob us of our joy. The statistics are staggering. 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health issue each year. That's a quarter of our friends, family members, and colleagues struggling to cope. And yet, we still don't talk about it. We still view mental health as a taboo topic, something to be hidden behind closed doors. But I'm here to tell you that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to admit that you're struggling, that you're not coping, that you need help, and it's okay to seek that help through unconventional means. But what if we could find a way to silence it, to quiet the mind and calm the body? What if we could find a way to melt away stress and anxiety, replacing it with a confidence and a calm? Speaking of, what if I told you that there's a more creative, more enjoyable way to melt away stress and anxiety that really only costs us a little bit of time? Enter guitar playing. Guitar playing is more than just a hobby or a creative outlet. It's a therapeutic tool. The act of playing requires focus, concentration, and dedication, quieting the mind and calming the body. The physicality of playing, the finger placement, the chord changes, the strumming, is meditative, forcing us to be present in the moment. And the emotional release that comes with creating music is unparalleled, providing an outlet for our feelings and emotions. We can express ourselves without words, without judgment, without fear of rejection. Part of my legacy as a guitar player and instructor is to teach through an online community of Christian guitarists called Guitar Success for You. I'd love to share a bit of the story of one of our guitar successors. Her name is Candy, and I met her while I was teaching guitar workshops at a worship conference. She joined Guitar Success for You and has been a valuable part of our community. Candy recently retired from a 24-year career serving in the Navy. Now, if you think serving in the Navy, being at sea for months at a time, often with high-powered munitions and weaponry within an arm's reach, and being yelled at frequently by a commanding officer, especially in boot camp, is stressful, you'd be right. And according to Candy, the post-traumatic stress induced from this career in the military, combined with early stress in her life, has been cumulative. So it has really built up over time. Post-traumatic stress, as you may know, can develop after traumatic events. How someone copes with this is essential. Otherwise, it can be carried through life like baggage that a person never sets down. So Candy has been very deliberate with her self-care in finding healthy ways to de-stress. She has been a lifelong music lover, and playing the guitar has become a huge part of Candy's life. She's only been playing for a couple years, but it's been a wonderful tool of expression for her, and she feels a sense of accomplishment whenever she plays, no matter how simple the music. She's shared with me that as she holds the guitar and strums it, she loves how the vibrations of sound move through her torso and produce a calming effect. After a long day of work, playing her guitar helps her unwind, almost to the point of lulling her to sleep. She has developed her playing to the point where she has a small repertoire of songs she will share at open mics, and she also plays worship songs in her house church. She embraces imperfection, and I love this. She uses a phrase to express how she doesn't need to get stressed out. She says, "Don't get wrapped around the axle." I love that. That image, to me, literally personifies stress in visual form. Getting all tangled up in something is not healthy. So she uses language like this to shake off the stress. She has talked about how her journey as a guitarist began with playing chords that just didn't sound all that great, but she knew the string buzzing would eventually go away and that her chords would sound better. And they have. She continues to grow as a guitarist and as a musician. When Candy sings and plays, she combines those elements right away, even if the song falls apart initially. If she forgets words, she'll find herself literally singing or saying, words, 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 just to keep the momentum going. And eventually, the real words come into play. Candy also sees the value of community and stepping outside her comfort zone to play jams with other musicians. And to keep herself playing when she's at home, she keeps her guitar very accessible, not locked away in a case, but instead nearby where she can take it in her hands, sit down, and immediately begin playing. Side note, one of the instant bonuses we give our Guitar Success for You members as soon as they sign up is a deluxe guide called 10 Tips for Making Your Solo Practice Space Great. And this tip, having your guitar practice space ready, is one of them. Candy is definitely on the right track. Wouldn't you agree? Speaking autobiographically, my default unwind activity is to sit on the couch and watch a movie. This is fine, but it puts me in a passive posture. When I'm watching a movie, I'm only taking in something entertaining. Depending on what I watch, it might actually turn out to be stressful, like an intense plot or something with heightened shades of reality. This might actually cause stress. So with this in mind, I think it's good from time to time to pursue an active posture of de-stressing, where I'm producing something. This active posture, as you might imagine with today's subject, can come in the form of relaxing and playing my guitar. But you might be wondering, how can a guitar teacher and professional musician play music just for relaxation? It's only been recently that I've discovered this hidden gem of a gift. So the best answer I have is this. The same way a professional chef might enjoy cooking recreationally, perhaps even for friends and family. We all gotta eat, right? I mean, just because a professional chef isn't cooking at a restaurant doesn't mean he or she isn't cooking. And perhaps there can be a simpler recipe or a self-paced cooking experience in contrast to being on the line with orders constantly coming up. right? A recreational cooking experience may or may not require a printed recipe. And similarly, a relaxing, de-stressing, winding down musical experience may or may not include playing from a page with music markings on it. Often, it doesn't have to. Now, if you were wondering if I might demonstrate some simple guitar playing for you today, you'd be right. If you want to know some optional, relaxing ways to coax some pretty sounds from your guitar, maybe try these 3 ideas. Tip number 1, strum the E major shape up and down the neck in multiple positions. It allows for the open 6th, 2nd, and 1st strings to ring as you move up and down. Don't worry about the chord formulas, just enjoy the sounds. Certain frets will sound better than others, but really, there are no wrong notes, and the shape doesn't change. So you can just enjoy listening to the sounds you create. Tip number 2, try a partial capo. This Shub C7B capo can be placed 2 different ways across the guitar on the 2nd fret. Coming from the low strings, it can sound an E sus4 chord, similar to DADGAD capo 2. Although you can fret chords around this capo, don't feel like you have to. Just strum the E sus4 chord and let it ring out. And of course, coming from the high strings, this capo can sound an A chord with an optional E in the bass. Again, just let the notes ring out. Tip number 3, try an alternate tuning. This is a more complex process, but once you get there, you can just set up camp and enjoy some simple sounds. One tuning I've experimented with is open G. Again, if you're not up for detuning your guitar, just enjoy what I play here for you. Starting from standard tuning, I tune my 6th string E down a whole step to D. I tune my 5th string A down a whole step to G. And then I tune my 1st string E down a whole step to D. So the tuning is D, G, D, G, B, and D. So if I strum the strings open, I have a G over D chord. And then I can just bar across the strings from there. Some folks use a slide or a bottleneck to play chords in this tuning. That's fine, but it's a major chord and it sounds soothing, right? Another tuning I really enjoy is DADGAD. Now, I could tune from open G to DADGAD, but to keep things simple and through the magic of video editing, I'm actually going to start again in standard tuning. So I'll lower my 6th string E down a whole step to D. Then I'll lower my 2nd string B down a whole step to A. And finally, I'll lower my 1st string E down a whole step to D. I now have the tuning D-A-D-G-A-D, which is a D sus4 chord. But that's all I'm gonna say about the tuning because I don't want you to get caught up in theory at this point. Just enjoy exploring the sounds you get, whether strumming the tuning open, just letting the open notes ring, or trying some fingerstyle around some shapes. Just enjoy it. Let the notes wash over you. Guitar playing can help alleviate stress by providing an outlet for our emotions by giving us an active posture and a feeling of purpose. It can help us focus, concentrate, and be present in the moment, quieting the mind and calming the body. And it can provide an emotional release, allowing us to express ourselves without words or criticism coming at us from anyone, including ourselves. Some people dedicate their entire careers to helping others through music therapy. So, if you're struggling with stress and anxiety, I encourage you to pick up a guitar or any instrument and give it a try. You don't have to be a musician, you don't have to be good, you just have to be willing. I recently saw Hans Zimmer in concert, and one of the most profound things he said during the show was this: the operative word in music is play. And to live a playful life, you don't have to be a musician. Just for a moment, be playful. I would add that it's hard to simultaneously be playful and stressed out, right? So let there be a playful, restful posture to your world, and let the guitar be a part of it. Sounds like a pretty low-stress environment to me. So your call to action right now is to grab your guitar, just sit down somewhere comfortable, don't even think about your posture or your musicianship, and just play. It doesn't take much, just a moment of time, a comfortable place to sit, and a guitar. Once you've done this, please share your own experiences with music and stress relief in the comments below. And if you're new to our channel, consider subscribing for more guitar content that could enrich your journey. If you like this video and you want us to create similar content, please comment and share it. One more thought for now. If you find yourself in a place where you don't have your guitar with you, but you want to squeeze something that will simultaneously relieve stress and also enhance your strength for bar chords, you may want to try one of these. It's called the OmniGrip. I link to it in the description below. But it gets better. This video actually takes you through 3 hand exercises, each one of which is unique and does something different to develop your hands for guitar. I encourage you to check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.